What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, GXR7, Surrect74, Andrea Cassini, Swider, Aso Spades, and Scythe. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link below in the description to find out more. Thanks again.
So, Fyre Festival. That's actually something that has inspired several parodies. AEW saw to that with their Fyre Festival-esque thing. And then, of course, there was also there's also a Netflix documentary, which I can definitely recommend going to watch because has a lot of details in it that I'm pretty sure this video is going to miss out on. And it has an internet historian video dedicated to it, which... if I've learned anything from watching some internet historian, it's that be prepared to laugh and also be prepared to be informed, because he does his research. I mean, he
and be prepared to question the human race to an extent as well, because usually topics he picks are on people doing really dumb stuff.
Yeah. For instance. There's entire videos by him dedicated to the failure of DashCon, a.k.a. TumblrCon, which... a.k.a.
the swimming pool.
A.k.a. the ball
pool.
pit.
Yeah,
the ball pit con, which you'll understand that reference.
Which someone peed in.
Thank you for spoiling that. And
dude, everybody knows about that.
I know, it's just, dude, Chad doesn't know
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I heard about people pissing in a ball pit, and I'm like... that's funny.
That's
and
McDonald's.
Terrible.
That was the McDonald's in our hometown.
I guess we might
Somebody
have to,
actually took a shit in that one.
Guess we might have to show Chad the DashCon video of this next time or something.
Yeah, next time. And then, of course, there's also another one he did about Rainforest, which is the furry convention.
Oh, shit. I think you kind of told me some shit about that.
Oh.
Man, come on.
Reasons for there will never be another Rainforest. A, degeneracy. B, through everything else, C above.
Yeah. Y'all got to chill out. I know you're trying to act like wild animals. I get that, but you got to know where there's a limit.
I mean, honestly, this isn't like Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, this is fucking
a hotel. It's a whole fucking tell. Can you imagine your grandparents are below
Can't
this?
Spell hotel without ho, Chad.
It's true. That's why you take a hoe to a hotel. Ludacris already told you that.
That's true. Speaking of rappers, Ja Rule was involved in this in certain regards, which you actually said earlier. You bet 50 Cent.
50 Cent loves it. I'm sure he loves knowing that Ja Rule is going to get fucking hammered.
Just so you know how desperate, or not desperate, but how much 50 Cent dislikes Ja Rule.
Yeah.
It was, what, 2, 4?
He bought out the front 2 rows of a Ja Rule concert just so nobody would be there. And he had to play the empty chairs.
The only thing about that is he still gave him money for it.
But his whole thing was like, that money means nothing to me. That money means something to him.
Fair enough.
I get pleasure in just knowing, that
he gave him some charity, basically.
Seats in front of him. He's still got to play that show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of like, haha, peasant, which is what he feels like about Ja Rule as a man and as an artist. He's made it perfectly clear.
Well, the very moment Ja Rule like bragged in the magazines about 50 about how he stabbed him, I'm like, oh my God, you done messed up.
Yeah.
And then 50 just wrecked him with every conceivable notion that Ja Rule thinks.
And 50 Cent was in cahoots with Eminem pretty heavy at the time, and so Eminem just took, they all took that as opportunity to be like, oh, we can talk shit about Ja Rule all we want now.
Well, you mess with Interscope or Aftermath.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
In those days, no, that wasn't good at all, man. That is not the...
That's why nobody did except for dumbasses like Ja Rule who were irrelevant.
Yeah. God. But the failure of Fyre Festival is a video by the internet historian.
This is one I haven't seen.
And, let's just enjoy this
dumpster.
I actually don't know anything.
Let's just enjoy this dumpster.
I don't know
fire.
anything about this, so I'm going into this one blind.
All right. Prep your butts.
Alright, wait. Hi there.
Hello?
You're probably wondering how I got this town. Well, let me tell you the story. It begins with a man by the name of Billy McFarland. Billy was a good boy. At 22, he had dreams of becoming a super wealthy entrepreneur, dropping out of college to start a business called Meganesis. Over the years, he managed to network with some powerful people. One of them was Ja Rule. Translated from German, I believe it means, yes, rule. Over drinks, he pitched an idea. Here's an accurate recreation of that event.
Mr. Rule,
He said,
I have a brilliant idea.
Like, word, like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yo, this thing too wild, smoking the feds.
precisely, great minds think alike. It will be 2 weeks of absolute luxury in the Bahamas.
Oh my
No.
Began in late 2016. Fyre promised beaches, ladies, gourmet food, luxury villas. Hosted on a private island in the Bahamas called Fyre Cay, once owned by Pablo Escobar. VIP tickets up to $250,000. Swimming pigs. Blink 182. Major laser. A steel drum. Welcome to Fyre Festival. The best 2 damn weeks of your life. I bought my ticket immediately. The day arrives. About 5,000 people are making their way directly from Miami Airport.
Oh my God.
And there are huge delays to get to Fyre Cay. Although I shouldn't say Fyre Cay, because it doesn't exist. In the marketing, they referenced this island, which is actually Norman's Cay, run by George Young, not Pablo, by the way. But that doesn't matter because we're not going there either. We're going to Great Exuma. Private island? Forget that. Population, 7,000. In fact, we're basically in the parking lot of a sandals resort. In the end, only about 500 of us make it to the island. The remaining customers' flights are cancelled. You're about to see why. We're hauled onto a school bus and taken to the site, a gravel lot with a bunch of FEMA tents. Remember those promises of luxurious villas? Pranked you. Enjoy your stay, and don't forget your complimentary cup of UNICEF rice. Once there, no one knows whose tent belongs to whom, so staff try getting everyone into a line. Then they abandon that idea and tell everyone it's a free-for-all. Expecting a party, this guy took all of his drugs on the flight over. He's the only one having any fun. Everyone else is grumpy because it's been 5 hours and there's no food. In lieu of food, staff decide to start handing out tons of free tequila. This only exacerbates problems. Once the food does arrive, it's just as delectable as promised though. Gourmet craft single there. A few hours later, bags arrive on a shipping container. It was getting dark and there was no lighting.
So everybody's walking around with their cell phones trying to look for their luggage.
Plenty of people had their luggage stolen. But don't worry, if you have any valuables, the festival advertised top-notch security. Here it is. But no one told guests they had to provide their own lock. There are rumors of muggings by the locals.
I heard rumors of feral dogs.
A tent supposedly caught fire. The closest beach has a rampant shark problem. Staff don't have any uniforms or walkie-talkies, so no one knows who's in charge, and the people who are in charge can't talk to each other. Here's the bathroom. Many staff quit after only a couple of hours. For the few customers who were willing to just make the most of it and enjoy the music, they had some bad news too. All of the major musical acts pulled out. In fact, Major Lazer wasn't even confirmed to go in the first place. The event was promoted as cashless, so all people had were these useless Disney bucks on their Fyre bands, which meant they couldn't buy anything or catch a cab if they were stranded. And even with only 500 people, there are too few tents and beds, so everyone is just stealing each other's. And for any of you thinking you could just escape to the sandals, bad luck. It's peak season and they are absolutely full. People are reaching out to the embassy for help. After a few hours, most people chose to go back to the airport, and the rest were forced back home when the Bahamian government stepped in. The festival was closed.
I get that reference.
But the exodus from the
Pool's
island made its own problems. Guests spent hours dehydrated and hung over in a hot building. Why staff locked the door isn't entirely known. But one girl fainted before they were finally reopened. Everyone gets home and that was the end of it. Except for me. I was rescuing someone, helping them out, and I got lost in the woods. Anyway, back at home, the shitstorm on social media was just ramping up. The Reddit Fyre Festival was created, and it started documenting everything that went wrong at the event. People were circulating a fake tweet by Jar that the whole thing was a social experiment. Some wholesome festival memes there. And it quickly turned into a marketing case study of what not to do. In response, Fyre started serving cease and desist letters to stop people from saying mean things about them. Mr. Rule released an official statement online, both apologizing and saying that it's not his fault. Interestingly, he wasn't even on the island at the time. He was giving a concert in Chicago. Although, to their credit, they offer everyone a full refund. Or you could always let it ride and opt in for tickets to 2018's Fyre Festival.
And a VIP ticket to next year's Fyre Festival.
Meanwhile, Billy is on full damage control. He claims that a storm came in the night before and changed all of the marketing into lies.
We got to a point that we were very excited about on Wednesday night with how the two sites looked, and we got hit by a big storm.
But the apologies weren't enough. A few days later, and the first lawsuit was served.
Attorney Ben Mysalis doesn't think it's funny. He's filed a $100 million class action lawsuit against the organizers.
Then another suit. Then 7 more. Then the feds got involved, claiming Billy had committed wire fraud. Serious charges with serious prison time. More on that later.
But first,
right now, let's go into the history of Fyre Festival. The marketing was clever. To get the word out, they got in touch with about 400 influencers, Instagram celebrities, and they offered them VIP tickets or cash to promote the event. They even managed to get Kendall Jenner to post about it. Rumor has it she was paid $250,000 for this post.
Jesus.
Their marketing worked though. The festival sold out. So how did it go so wrong? Let's start with the money. During the planning process, a consultant came in and said the festival would cost $50 million and require another year of organization.
they should have planned 2 whole years now.
This is after they made all the promises, and they had nothing near that amount, so they started cutting expenses way back. Remember those luxury villas? They were going to cost $10 million alone, so they scrapped them. Now everyone gets a tent. Deposits for the bands? Nope. Food, infrastructure, staff, all were cut back. But, you may ask, how did they have so little cash if they sold out? It's the price. It was way too low. Now wait a minute, up to $250,000 a ticket is too low. In fact, on social media, people were so merciless and unsympathetic towards the guests because they thought it was a bunch of rich kids paying for tickets with a starting price of $12,000. And you can thank fake news for that assumption. You see that number repeated everywhere. But actually, very few were paying even close to that amount. The standard price was around $1,200. Which, if you think about 2 weeks in the Bahamas with practically all of your expenses taken care of, that's pretty bloody good. In fact, some tickets were as low as $500.
6 months ago, got together and got the early bird special for about $500. And this covered food, transportation, ticket, and somewhere to sleep.
How on earth were they going to break even with that? They weren't. And on the flip side, there's no proof whatsoever that anyone purchased a $250,000 ticket. So basically, they're stuffed. Billy has to start taking tough short-term loans just to keep afloat. Which, by the way, is why they did the Fyre bans. It was to raise cash. It's reported that up to $2 million in Firebucks in-game currency was spent in the lead-up to the event.
In-game currency.
But this wasn't even close to enough. Practically broke, and with the event only a few weeks away, the more experienced staff suggested postponing. But thanks to those short-term loans, he couldn't. So he insisted on going forward. Those staff tried to control the damage by telling celebrities and public figures not to go.
How was the Fyre Festival?
So,
other people
Billy
are
and
laughing.
Jar
It's
are in
appropriate for me to laugh
trouble.
now.
But let's
Did you catch that?
Have one failed festival that has a
Fake
sequel.
motherfuckers do.
Well, Billy is out on $300,000 bail. His assets were frozen as at May 18th. He dropped his expensive attorneys. He's selling his property in New York. He tried to sell Beasant for $150,000, but it was cancelled for being fraudulent. Massively in debt and with no hope of paying it back, Fyre went into involuntary bankruptcy. And that is the end of Fyre Festival. I'll keep you posted about whether Billy is going to jail. So long, Fyre Festival. You were too beautiful for this world. And as for me, well, it's time to go home.
Wilson! Wilson! Shit. Well.
Jesus.
And they're playing the Titanic music. This is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
He's a crazy dude, man.
Internet Historian's very funny. Very,
Yes,
very funny.
no doubt.
Gosh. So yeah, that was Fyre Festival.
Wow.
A literal shit show. Literally. In almost every way possible.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Like, I knew about a lot of the other things he's talked about, like, because DashCon was something that, when it went down, my girlfriend at the time was in the cosplay community and stuff, and the going to convention community, and I've been to several with her, and so, like, all of their friends and community, you know, found out about that pretty quickly after it happened. And we're just like, have you heard about this?
I was aware of it about 6 months after it happened, and I was just like, I guess lesson learned. I mean, you know, don't, because honestly, DashCon bought its own bullshit. It thought, yeah, we'll just hold this festival and we'll beg our patrons for a shit ton of money just to keep the doors open. Not only did they pay their tickets and everything, they literally begged their fans for money just to keep the convention open. And thus, when the vendors came and no one could spend any money because they'd given it all up.
The funny thing is just how utterly sad that convention was. Because I know a dude that lives in Bristol that decided he was going to put on his own convention. And, like, he put, like, certain other conventions around here to shame with his first one. I was just, like, really impressed when I went. I was like, holy shit, this looks mildly successful.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, like, that was one guy basically setting it up with, you know, himself and the help of some of his friends, basically.
Well,
it was like, as opposed to, like, them doing all this Patreon crap or whatever they did, you know, like, fun, you know, Kickstarter, fundraiser, whatever they did, and then they just, you know, ball pit. Like,
yeah. Ball pit. It's
just sad.
When gatherings are uninspired, they're often fucking garbage.
So right there, you're just mentioning Tumblr.
I don't know if this was uninspired or if it was just a straight scam. I think it was more of a straight scam.
Some people have said it's a scam. I've said it was a scam.
As if it was a scam situation, especially when there's bands that were promoted saying, we didn't fucking know anything about this.
Well, this especially.
Fire. That's
Fyre
fraud
Festival
right
Fyre Festival was essentially big time fraud, all because Billy McFarland wanted to be a big boy. That's really it. I mean,
it sounds like his credit card he made was also fraudulent. So.
Yeah. Well, Magnesia. Yeah. Well, you see, credit company. You see, the way people start up credit companies and everything. There's a reason why Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, all of them. That's why those are really the four standards right now. There are others that are out there who lend out credit, but you have to have capital behind it. You have to. Otherwise, your credit company will fold every single time. And the one thing about Magnesis, from what a lot of people were saying about it, because I looked into that a little bit after I saw the Fyre Festival Netflix documentary, is that Magnesis effectively was all about, you know, it was like how exclusive it is. You know, he actually tried to get Donald Trump to get a Magnesis card. And Trump was just like, no, I'm sorry, but no. And you see, the influencer culture we live in nowadays, where all someone has to do is show up next to Kylie Jenner, just stand next to her, like, and Kylie Jenner has to pretend that she knows you. Immediately, boom, you're internet famous, just like that. Now, whether it's 15 minutes of fame,
and who and what has she brought to the table? Like,
who, Kylie Jenner?
Who is she? What has she brought to the table?
She's Kim Kardashian's younger sister, and she also formed a makeup company as the youngest billionaire ever. And there are people out there who say women don't have it good in this country.
As the youngest billionaire ever?
Mm-hmm.
How much startup money did she use?
To my knowledge, from her family, she got at least a few $1 million. She started a makeup company, put her name on it, and it became... No,
Great.
I'm not going to hate her because she made a shit ton of money, but I'm just like, okay. And your point?
I just feel like I don't understand why people care. Like, what is the influence?
I don't get it
influencer?
either, dude. I mean, people still talk about Kim Kardashian like she's some big thing. I'm like, dude, her sex tape was 14 years ago.
She got turned out by Ray J.
Yeah.
On film.
Yeah.
Okay.
That should have been the precipice of it, but because trash TV was in its last legs and was desperate for any kind of lastability, they went to the Kardashians and said, act fucking crazy, just do anything, Chloe, go fuck Lamar Odom. But I don't like him. Just go fuck Lamar Odom right now.
So fake and fraudulent, much like Fyre Fest, that's just the culture we live in. Fake everything.
Yes.
Fake. Then when somebody gives you their honest opinion and you don't fucking like it, and then it becomes a problem for people to be real, I guess.
Well, what I don't get is just...
We should just smile and like everything.
I understand to an extent
great.
why people like certain celebrities and stuff, and like why people put certain celebrities on a pedestal, but like there are celebrities that people worship like demigods or gods, like they're almost religiously like follow, that haven't done shit.
Yeah, that
they haven't displayed any talent, haven't contributed anything to the art world.
Yeah.
Like, haven't done anything even remotely profound, and I just don't fucking understand that. I feel you completely on that. Like,
yeah, I don't.
I understand. Dude, I've said that for years and years. Why are the Kardashians
like even
still
people
a thing?
who have done things
Why?
that are profound, I still don't view on that level, and I don't get it.
Well,
Like Elon Musk, like he's done some profound shit.
Yeah, that's badass.
I'm just like, that's pretty badass that he's done that. But it's like, if I met him in person, I would be like, hey man.
Yeah,
it's like I admire what you've done,
don't know
man.
who
like,
he went out to lunch with.
It's not like, oh my god, he's
no,
it's Elon Musk. Oh.
Well, yeah, but truth is, influencer culture. Actually, one of my favorite YouTuber anime, Andrej, I forget his last name. Forgive me, I'm sorry, but he talked about how he got an offer to work or to do an animation for Kylie Jenner, and he saw how huge Kylie Jenner's thing was, her platform was and everything. He's like, oh, maybe this can get me a few extra subscribers. But he was just like, I wonder what they're gonna pay, and then turns out they didn't want to pay him. They actually were just like, oh, but we'll shout you out in this and shout you out in that, and he was just like, nope. Bye.
Exposure doesn't fucking buy groceries or pay rent.
Well, and here's one thing about that got he said that when asked why would you approach me when there's so many other animators out there and you could have gone to them, especially in America. There's so many great animators who work on YouTube in America. Why would you go to me? Because he's from Romania.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, because we really wanted someone from Europe, because it would just promote that, Kylie's just a more world-weary person. I'm like,
it's all false persona, man. It's all fake.
Yeah.
It's like, I got an argument, believe it or not, with somebody on Facebook the other day because they were getting all up in arms about a band being removed from a festival in Indiana of all places. Like, who gives a shit? We don't even live anywhere close to that. But because they had an insensitive name. And it's like, oh, by God, everybody's attacking my Southern heritage and blah, 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 by God. And it's just like, dude, go outside. Get up out of your fucking chair. Stop watching the news so much. And I guarantee you're going to walk by people that don't fucking care about what you're doing or what your beliefs are. They're just doing things.
Yeah.
And if people would get off their fucking asses and quit being brainwashed by everything that lights up with the screen on it, and live actual life around real actual people.
Yeah.
Everybody's chilling for the most part. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
We're doing our own thing.
Yeah.
But when you get on this and you're staring at that and everything's a big fucking problem.
A lot of outrage culture is over sensationalized by media and social media.
It is because the media
and like
wants
if you actually go outside and like talk to like certain people, it's like for example, is like someone who was a member of the LGBT community like commented on the Spider-Man thing, and they're just like, not everything has to be gay, man.
It was when some producers for Spider-Man were saying, you know, what if we just turned Spider-Man fully gay? And Tom Holland would, because he wants to continue to be Spider-Man, was just like sounded off. It's like, yeah, I'll be gay for Spider-Man. I'll be gay Spider-Man. And like he said, someone from the LGBTQ community was just like, not everything has to be gay, guys.
But like you see these articles being like, oh, this is a totally insensitive video game, bloody blah and stuff like that, and then you go talk to like the vast majority of the communities that people are being outraged on behalf of, and they're just like, we don't fucking give a shit. Like,
well, like celebrities, influencers are causing a lot of problems because they're not fucking experts on the shit that they're talking about. They're not in any position to be talking about government or social issues and shit like that just because they're fucking good at pretending to do fake shit or something.
That's just one thing why there's certain interviews I've seen where someone like it was actually Tim Allen and Tom Hanks were doing an interview for Toy Story 4, and an interviewer asked them about what did you think about this, what do you think about that in terms of politics. And Tom Hanks sounded off, and I'm just like, why the hell would I give a damn what Tom Hanks has to say about politics? And Tim Allen was just...
They're not professionals.
Well, and Tim Allen was very private about it. Because
in that field,
Tim doesn't care. Tim doesn't want politics to be one of the primary... If he's going to go talk about politics, he's going to go to a news network that he views as legitimate and talk about it there. But an interview for like an entertainment channel... What the hell does that have to do with politics?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And it's absolutely insane to me to have people... It's just like Meryl Streep getting up on the microphone and saying, to all of those people who do MMA, we're coming for you. I'm like, Meryl Streep, if I want to hear your opinions on MMA, I'll throw my head into a meat grinder, okay?
Yeah.
I'll throw my head into a meat grinder while singing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Well, you follow like a herd of sheep and you end up at Fyre Fest.
Either that or you wind up talking to enough famous people and you wind up thinking you're a billionaire. Much like I think Billy McFarland thought he was. If I were
he
Billy,
really jacked his life up doing this.
Well, it'd be kind of cool, actually. I just thought about it. You just reminded me just by saying that about you end up at Fyre Fest if you follow a bunch of people. So we went to a festival this past summer, like a couple months ago. We went real fucking south. It was like the first year for it. It went real fucking south, and I kind of wonder if it could be worthy of ending up on one of these videos at some point. I'd be excited if so. I'd be like, hey, I went to that. It fucking sucked.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Epicenter. It's basically supposed to be the new Carolina Rebellion, where they canceled Carolina Rebellion, and it was its last year. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be a major metal festival that spanned over 3 days, which Carolina Rebellion was, and it was a very good one. And instead, what happened is on the first day of the festival, they only opened the front gate to the racetrack in Charlotte that they were doing it at. Not Charlotte, but it was Rockingham.
Mm-hmm.
So they only opened the front gate. And so people who arrived like an hour early Got into the festival like 6 hours after it started because the traffic was so fucking ridiculous. Then, besides a whole slew of other problems on the second day, when I actually went and me and my friends went, and the only day we had tickets for, planning to see Tool and Judas Priest, who were the headliners that day. When we got there, we got to see the last song of the Damn Things because we were late getting in because of the traffic a little bit. And then we got to, they had at least opened another gate, so we weren't as late as we would have been, but we were still a little late getting in because they were still not doing a good job of directing people in very well and stuff. But we saw that one song, went and watched Motionless in White set, went to watch Black Label Society, and 3 songs into the set, they cut Zakk Wylde and Black Label Society off and tell everyone to get out because there's a possible storm coming. And we're a bunch of metalheads. We're like, dude, if we get struck by lightning in a mosh pit, that's just how we die. We're cool with that, you know? Like, it's a warrior's death.
Yeah, exactly. and Zakk Wylde wanted to keep playing.
Yeah, and he was like, well, apparently we have to shut it down for a minute, and he didn't seem happy about it. You know?
Of course not, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it's bullshit.
If he's not playing guitar up on stage in front of people, he's back in the back drinking a black tooth grin, which is what he does.
So basically, you know, we walk out to our cars. To be fair, it stormed really hard for about 3 minutes. And it would have kind of sucked a little bit to be standing out there even with our ponchos on, you know, like, because we probably wouldn't have been able to see the stage or anything. But it was about 3 minutes, then it stops. And then, you know, we walk back down, we're asking, like, you know, when can we go back in? And they're like, we'll probably be letting people back in a little bit. And, you know, we go back, we're sitting there. And at one point, we basically decided this is taking too long, and people are saying there's a possibility they're not going to let anyone back in because there might be more storms coming. Why don't we go ahead and get out here while it's good? Because these guys have gotten in line we've seen, and they've been sitting there for a minute. So, like, we need to start going. And we're like, all right. And we gave up and got in line to leave. And as soon as we did, they canceled the entire rest of the day of the festival over Twitter. So I was like, see, I told you. I was like, I'm really glad we decided to do that. Yet, we sat in the same spot, not moving in fucking traffic for about an hour and a half or more. Like, not able to leave the fucking place because me and Chance walked up to the start. No one was directing traffic. No staff were out there getting anyone out of there. And everyone from the parking lots up front were going, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. All right, now I'm coming out. Now I'm coming out. Now I'm coming out with all these parking lots up here. Still all these cars to get out where we're 3 whole parking lots back. So our line has never moved because as soon as someone goes out up there, someone else goes out up there because there's no one directing
You at least
out.
Have people up there with like the cone thing.
Yeah, like you make it fucking organized. You let the third direction come so that more people can get out. Like, Jesus.
They got your money.
Yeah, they did not give a shit. At that point,
they don't care.
And finally, this dude comes down that I don't even think worked there. And he was like, hey, we're trying to turn people around. People are going right out this back gate. And we're like, fuck yeah. And we turned around and went out. And we were like, fuck that. And I voiced my opinion loudly on the internet. So hopefully if Internet Historian decides to talk about how much of a shit show that was.
Yeah, the epicenter.
Then maybe he'll read one of my comments to Epicenter off Twitter or something and put it on the video. Who knows?
Maybe.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be. That'd be very cool.
He's like, hey, that's me being pissed off about this. Yeah, awesome.
Shitty festivals, they happen.
They do. They do.
This one, a big fucking turd.
Oh, dude. This is a turd in a punch bowl. I mean, this is arguably the worst festival gathering in history. Nobody died. I mean,
but still, you have no idea how disappointing it is to be excited about something like that and it turn out like that.
And this was just like they were stuck in another fucking country and everything.
Yeah,
I would have been terrified if I was there.
I would be too.
I would have been like, we may never get to go home.
Yeah, because the Canadian government locking the door on the friggin' embassy, not letting you out. That would scare the hell out of me.
No doubt, dude. I would be throwing shit out the windows, being like, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, climbing the fuck out and just being like, I want to come home. Please let me come home. God. All right. Well, this was Internet Historian's Failure of Fyre Festival video. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more from good old Internet Historian yourself, there's a link to the original video down in the description. Feel free to check that out. And also, if you want to see more from us, we have a little subscribe button right below Nick and Chad's feet. And also the little bell down there. Ring that if you want to stay informed on every video that we put out. And also, if you want to check out our Discord and our Patreon, we greatly appreciate it. I mean, really,
if you want to see us react to more of these, you can request that in the Discord too.
Absolutely.
You can ask us in the comments, but the Discord also has a request channel, so you can ask 2 places.
Yes, exactly. So, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. And I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chad.
And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.